if you're gonna come in to be the final mile provider, this is what we would like to see you do. So there's some standard there that everybody's on the same page about what's acceptable. And because some of these guys, if they're going to be seeking funding from the states or the Fed, they need letters of support. And if they're not gonna meet what you want, why give them a letter of support?
Right, and they talked about, one of the providers who's talking about, or maybe already planning on coming in on 36, didn't want to do the boxes, I don't remember the terminology, along the way that you could hook up, that the final mile providers could hook up to take it on out. And so that was something that we would definitely need to make clear that we're not, if you're not willing to work with us, then we're not gonna let you just make money off of the towns.
Was that off of 16 or 36?
Was it
I
16?
thought it was 16.
Could have been.
I was just pleasantly surprised that we had as many people there as we did. I didn't anticipate that, to be honest.
Angie and Gary did a great job of publicizing. Yeah. Angie and I, you know, that really nasty day, we did an interview with WA&D, which has aired apparently when they don't have anything better to air, and it was on again last night. They did a very nice job of highlighting. Unfortunately, they picked the worst day that we've had in 6 weeks, and all you see is footage from a car in rain, but it's better than nothing, and they summarized it well. I think I'm gonna go to Crispin City Council meeting tonight, and I'm gonna go to Neighborhood Watch meeting Thursday night. Next Friday, on the 27th, Jeff and I are gonna go to Springfield for a wind and solar meeting for county officials to talk about the, actually getting the nuts and bolts about what we can and cannot do on the new ordinances, revised ordinances.
Okay. Any questions? Did you have something that you wish to say, Scotty, or anything?
No, the only thing, we got our tanker back in Vermillion. It's back in service and all up and running, so. Other than that, the new district chief's doing great.
Cool. Very good. Any questions, Scotty? Wyatt, do you have anything that you wish to address?
Wind and solar, which, of course, what else we got to talk about? I gave her a sample of what talk about nuts and bolts. That's pretty much what those copies are. They're examples of ordinances that are as built up as they can be with the passing of House Bill 4412.
Would that be similar to what UCCI came up with, their attorneys? Has he seen a copy of
I
that?
don't know what that would look like.
No, I don't think you have seen that one.
I believe this one originated out of Macoupin County, and it's within the letter of the law as much as it can be right now. So it's a sample, you can kind of finagle it
Tweak
from
it.
there.
Does it deal with tiling and emergency services?
I don't believe so, because there is none of that within the state law,
Okay.
I believe. But I can do some digging on whatever you need, or you just tell me what you need to help get it
Oh,
passed, because we got,
Well, it sounds like we got 2 templates now.
yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna have to do some rolling back for sure, but just do what we can to be within the letter of the law, basically.
Yeah, and I reread everything yesterday because, as we know, these things can be very controversial, and it is splitting apart a small Quaker farm committee in Vermillion County, Illinois.
What do you mean splitting apart?
Because, they control 2 little pieces of ground, and that project is wanting to use one of those pieces of ground. They say not to put, turbine on, but to have access to run through, put lines through. So,
So it's hard on the neighbors.
it's hard, it is very hard. I noticed at a restaurant yesterday also. So,
Yeah, it's not ideal, but, we'll do what we can, and hopefully we can get a trailer bill passed probably in the fall, kinda cover up the things that are missing.
yeah, when I read that drainage part again, yeah.
So that kinda leads in the other thing, which is that pro-ag resolution we talked about. I took out, the board wanted to take out some of the livestock language, thought it got a little too wordy, a little too specific. We just wanna give you guys something that is, shows support for agriculture, even though you guys are hamstrung at the county level by the state, so.
So is the one you gave me last week the most recent
It
one?
should be, but I've got another copy here for you guys as well.
So it does
just
still
in
state
case.
in livestock, it just doesn't say as much.
It doesn't get into the weeds as much. The board thought that would be something you guys would
Right.
appreciate, so.
Okay. Any
And
questions?
are we gonna, are we gonna talk about that again on, cause you wanted us to sign it,
We can do April, we can do May.
Well, we
It's
need to
up-
do it in April, don't you think?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't see any reason in not doing it in April.
That's fine.
Okay.
I will have a couple board members there as well.
We'll put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
If they want to, well, at the study session, have a couple board members there, they're welcome to come to the general meeting.
Yep,
but
absolutely.
the general meeting is more business meeting, and this one is where we discuss and chew the fat about an issue.
So I was thinking he needs to email this to Augie to put in our packets.
No, I'll take care of that, or
Okay.
he can do that too, yeah, either way,
Yeah, I can email it to
Okay.
Augie.
yeah.
Okay.
And
No
then Augie will put it on our letterhead and.
Yep.
So,
Read over it. If there's anything else that doesn't look right, let me know and I can change it. Otherwise, we can stick with that and I can come to your study session. Actually, you probably won't have one before the next board meeting, will you?
Yeah,
Yes.
the 10th.
Okay, yeah, I'll be there, double check on that, if everything's good
Yeah,
from your end.
yeah.
we'll go from there.
that's what I was thinking, if there's anybody that wants to, but I don't see any, foresee any issues with passing this resolution. Sorry I don't have a copy to give you guys right now, but. That's no problem.
That's all I've got.
That's all we got.
Thank you.
Let's see. Okay, I guess it's me. The coroner has contacted me. He went to his annual meeting, state coroner's meeting. And one of the things that they discussed there was use of some ARPA money for vehicles, which would be in line with what we could do, maybe not picking up the whole thing, but helping, assisting him with his funds to pay for that last vehicle we got, which I kinda wanted to check out how you were as far as what your thoughts were. We put it on the agenda for approval, but I was thinking about 15K towards that, and then later on, we could always take a look at it again. But given everything else we're committed to, that seemed to be reasonable.
Do you have money in it, does it have a budget that,
Yes.
for tax money and stuff like that?
Yeah, he was gonna pay it out of a coroner's fee fund that he has, that he uses from time to time for other things. And that would kinda, like the GIS budget for, that we have, similar to that. And it's a dedicated fund, and this would alleviate some of the issues with that, so I just wanted to let you guys know.
Does he need it? Does he need the money?
Yeah, he doesn't,
He truly doesn't really have enough to,
no,
and
he'd
leave
have to
enough of a
collect
cushion
it.
to do it.
Right, he's now on a 4 or 5 year payment plan for that at one of the banks, and this would take care of one of the payments. Okay?
So that he could build up enough money in the fund to do the next year's?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay,
it's not a long-term commitment,
okay.
right? We're in the process, now that you're back in the room, we're gonna have You and Carl and I take it they were gonna come as soon as they could after the meeting, do you know?
Yeah, I think that they're tied up with interviews from 8 to noon.
Oh, really?
As far as Carl and the
that's
sheriff,
Carl,
yeah.
okay. Well, glad you're here, cause we need to, Russ and I need at 10:15, we're gonna be talking to, Michael and Hannah. And there's a few, 3 or 4 items, little items, that we want to get clearance so that everybody's on the same page. I have talked to Andy about it. For example, and we'll get the diagram out here. You wanted all 4 offices carpeted. Well, one of the offices does not anymore have a door. It's administrative office, and they suggest we not carpet it. We don't have to make up our minds right now, but that's one of the issues.
I think that was, and we can discuss it when we get there, but.
Yeah. And then we need a closed session briefly on a personnel issue that we need to discuss with you, so you can discuss it with the sheriff,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
We are in the process of filling out some rather specific issues for USDA. We have an operating budget that we need to fill out, which is a 1-page, and a balance sheet, which is 2 pages. And we're in the process, hopefully we'll have a phone conference with them on Wednesday. Like I told, or like we discussed at the last meeting, we've been invited to make a final application, which is, as long as we do it correctly, means that we would pretty much be guaranteed the funding for $4.5 million for the jail,
Or
or
additional-
more.
What,
And they
pretty
will
much,
increase it to
pretty much the
whatever.
rest of, with the rest of the balance that you're gonna need for the jail.
So we're going through, we've got a list of, 20 items, which you handled, and
Yep, I'm working on most of them. and a
yeah,
few other
most of them are
issues.
there. We've got a couple that are outstanding, including these 2 sheets. We needed a sign off from the state's attorney, but a lot of the items were already done, so we're in the process of doing that. To that end, the item that I want you to, we're having a public hearing before the next meeting, 15 minutes beforehand. Would you describe that?
And basically, it's just a chance for the public to come and if any, people should, we give a little information about what the grant's for, what the additional funding is for. And if they have any questions or concerns, it's just part of the process that we have to have a public hearing. So, we don't expect it to take too long, but, it gives a chance for the public to say anything at this point.
That will be advertised in the paper.
It should be going out, I think, this weekend,
Right.
like I say, in the advertising for
And
that, so.
what's the date?
The 12th, it's right before your other board meeting.
Oh, okay,
Same day,
all right.
So it'd be at 8:40, it'd be at 8:45, 15 minutes for your normal board meeting.
and we've done that before, so.
It had to be advertised at least 10 days before, this will give us 14, so, or something like that.
Another agenda item going on, and you guys, we talked about the county providing the city with, some of the, mapping and making sure it was under control, so it wasn't just given out willy-nilly. We've come up with a, intergovernmental agreement, I've talked to the mayor about it, which would restrict its use to the city.
And for government purposes.
Right, for government purposes only, so that some firm could come in and say, we'd like to have that.
It also does say a one-time free one too.
Right,
So
yes.
you can't come back every 6 months or a year, it's supposed to be one time.
It's a one-time agreement, okay? Which I detected, we kinda all said that's fine, but I detected that maybe we should button it up a little bit and tighten it up so it couldn't be abused. Okay, not that the city would do it, but, once things get out there, they sometimes just get out there, so that's where we're at. Do you know where the sheriff is on choosing the locations and, for the camera, and are we committed to the camera process?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he finalized the camera locations last week, but he did that individually with the guy in an email. And I need to just get you guys copies of those locations, I can do that for you.
Okay. That's Andy, I forgot Andy.
So refresh my memory, 5 + 1 or 4 + 1?
5 + 1.
Hey Jeff,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about you for a few minutes.
that's okay. I figured we could get through all that initial stuff.
Right, we'll be getting into the other thing. In fact, if you want me to call you back, what is it? We've got another 15 minutes, but you're willing to, if you want, you can hang in there. We're just talking about the cameras, and Jacob said that the sheriff finalized its locations last week. We have 5 and 1. I think it's 5 permanent and 1's mobile is what we approved at this point. So,
Yeah, I just, you can leave me hanging on there if you want.
no problem. What, Jacob?
One on 133 and 49, in Isabel area, that's, facing eastbound. One, near the 36 and the state line near that area, facing west. One on, 150 near, just east of Vermillion Road, facing west. One on Lower Terre Haute Road, coming into the county, and then one near Oliver on Route 1, facing north, and then we have the one mobile camera.
Okay. All right, so
Yeah.
that's in the works. Do we need to sign a contract on that pretty quick?
I think Jeff has signed that contract, I think, but I don't know that for a fact. I know it was part of their email discussions that I was part of in the beginning, but there's no reason for me to stay on that, so.
Okay. I need to check with Jeff on that. I don't know. Usually the ordinance says it authorizes the chairman of the county board to sign. But, you know, if I have to sign along with Jeff, that's fine.
Okay.
Let's make
Check
it,
with him.
and then I'll set up the accounts. Yes.
How's a movable camera work? Is that in one car, or don't you have one that can be moved different places?
Yes, it can be moved around, it's not in a car, it's like a, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's something that can be moved and it can stay there and work for up to 4 days with its battery, and then we have to take it and recharge it. So it's only good in that spot for
Okay.
up to 4 days.
I just wondered, thank you.
Yes.
Budget-wise, I really don't have a lot. We're finally into this fiscal year as far as income. The last several months, the income has been for prior years because of the way the state pays. In other words, the February payment was actually for November. So that's when it was collected, and we finally get it paid for. So it's accrued, and we're getting caught up on that. Payroll-wise, we still have issues. In fact, when I left the treasurer's office, Pam was still having issues with communications from Paycom to Harris. They have something coded wrong, and she was going to try to get it squared away. They were saying it was Harris's problem. Harris said no, we've said no, this is the problem, and they were gonna talk to David and, I forget her name,
Morgan?
no, at any rate, Elizabeth. So they're still working on that. So that is still not working correctly. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for today. There'll be more, and we'll go over some of the line items that we're gonna have in the agenda at the next meeting. Do you guys have any questions of me? Public comment. Okay, hearing none, I would ask that, why don't we slip in here, since we've got 15 minutes or so till the committee meeting. I'd like to have a motion to go into exec session or a closed session for personnel. Russ moves, Dan seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are gonna go into exec session. Folks, thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you next meeting. Hearing none, motion to adjourn the study session. Russ moves. Dan seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Let me call Andy back real quick.